Sunday, 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 goal! Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Azurik Rise of Perathia. Last episode was crazy. My Xbox started crashing all over the place because the cheats are poorly designed in this game. We also had some pretty cool story stuff that I feel like I haven't talked about enough, so we'll be doing that in this video. And basically we have been banished by Balthazar. We were looking for the Death Disc. We found out that the Death Guardian actually wasn't a bad guy apparently, and he was just trying to use Balthazar to get the disc on the tower. Like, it's really badly written. Anyway, I'll talk about that more. And Balthazar basically attacked us and sent us into the Void, which is one of the regions of the Death Realm. It's pretty crazy around here. Weirdly designed stuff, loads of unique assets. We are looking for 6 keys. We've got 4 of them already. The next 2 should come to us pretty easily. As you can see there, also we've got 100 obsidians. I've demonstrated that final super smash power thing that we get to use, which really isn't that very effective on enemies whatsoever. But yes, so speaking of unique assets, we've got to go into these like cage rooms. If we go back downstairs, I was probably rushing for the save point last episode. And look at the crazy stuff. So that's the death symbol. Like, this is the kind of stuff on the walls and things that actually seems to have meaning. We've got a weird face mask thing here. Remember this mask, because this is, like, relevant for the final cutscene. It's really weird. There's loads of them around. And if we have a look down here, more death symbols on the walls. We've actually got 2 cages where catalysks are being bred or held captive or whatever. Kind of weird. So these are the first non-Diluvian stalkers we've seen in the Death Realm. Loads of catalysks around here. Why they're here, I have no idea. But there's like loads of bones and stuff too, which is quite cool because we don't get to see many of these. Maybe a couple in Death Alley or whatever. But the carcasses, and look at this. It actually gets kind of gory at this point in the game. I mean, it's a kid's game. Well, is it a kid's game? I don't know. Anyway, in one of them in the corner, you actually find a key. So that's our 5th key out of 6. And the other cage is empty. You can go in there if you really hate Catalyst and you want to kill him. I'm going to do it because I want more health. So that's why I feel justified in slaughtering them. Also, it's so fun to kill them now that they're easy to kill, you know. They're such a pain before. The other enemies you get to kill, it's like maybe this got cut out of last episode. I should explain it again, right? I was trying to demo, in the middle of all the crashes, I was trying to demo our big power-up slam ability. And I said that you, basically every enemy once you're at level 3 will die under 1 combo as long as you're using the correct element to fight them. Except Diluvian Stalkers. They're like the hardest enemy in the game for that reason, that they will still take 2. And that's why the big smash power isn't necessarily very effective against them anyway. So there is that, and I'm sure that at lower levels the giant smash ability enchants your axiom and continues to suck power away, but it loses that aspect of the ability as it gets stronger, which is really weird, and it sucks, frankly. It really sucks, and I'm not sure why they did that, and I didn't know that they did that. If I did, I would have shown it to you guys way earlier in the series. But yeah, so we'll kill him. Maybe it will work in the tutorial. I'm not sure. Anyway, and we'll kill this guy as well. Basically, you want to clean out this cage of Diluvians. And those with a keen eye will notice there's actually a key inside that little chamber there. And you get to play a cool little thing where you can kill an innocent creature. Which is just how it rolls in the Death Realm. So if you don't like it, then you best get out of this bad neighborhood, bruh. We'll kill this guy as well. I think that should leave the cage empty. I mean, these Diluvians are pretty cool because they're like half invisible, and that does mean a lot of the time in some areas, especially if you think of like the Dark Maze, they will just pop out in front of you. It's a shame that they couldn't, you know, do more to make them interesting, but hey. And look, you'll see that in these little cages are these little critter guys. The name of these actually appears in the credit sequence. I can't remember what they're called. Chitters, I think maybe they're called, something like that. Scratches or something, kind of some weird word like that. Got loads of stuff on here. There's another one being killed here, dissected possibly. Loads of stuff that we're just walking around on. But there's a key inside one of the rooms. Now, what you can do is you can turn this dial, which will release poison into one of the chambers. So if we do it over here, this guy looks cute, doesn't he? Oh, we can poison him. And that will actually kill them, which is a real sad fact. There's also these very curious looking switches here that look really creepy to me. I don't know, they make me think of, you know, in Toy Story 1, in Sid's house, he's got like the toys that are being disconnected. You know, there's the one that's just a head with like, it's an octopus with a head. This sort of reminds me of that crossed with maybe some others, because the fleshy part of this looks like, I don't know, a body of like a fat thing. It looks really weird. And you'll notice there's another death symbol on it. They're really good with that. Anyway, by spinning this, we actually turn off the force field, which turns out is just like air. And you might not realize you've turned off the force field, but you have. You're gonna have to turn off the poison too, otherwise it will kill you. And then you can go and claim your key. And it's like an icy surface there. And you can play around here. You can poison these guys or set them free if you like. I liked the idea of setting them free. And they could have put like an Easter egg in the game where if you set these 2 free, or like somehow cage them up together and then turn it back on. Maybe like they trigger that little love heart animation that we saw back in the town all that time ago. Oh, I miss the surface world. I miss it so much. But I didn't bother sticking about here for so long. And that's a really interesting idea to me, right? A game like this, big, expansive, and especially when you look at the credit sequence and all the sort of love that the devs put in and all the different variants of the UI and different powers and stuff you can see. Like, it would be so easy for there to be hidden stuff in this game. And I've never been, like, convinced that stuff can be hidden in games like this and people would never find. But you look at how complicated some of these cheats are as well. Who would care to like data mine this game and, you know, really inspect it for every little possible Easter egg that could exist? Who would care enough to do it? Maybe not too many people, and I like the idea that there could still be, you know, really hidden stuff in titles like this. Obscure, weird titles that nobody really cares about. I really like that idea. Anyway, you'll notice that now we've got 6 keys. Where do we go now, wooden potatoes? Well, we're going to jump into the water. I think this shouldn't kill us. Because the game usually, there we go, the game usually has like a thing where it's like a hard barrier. It doesn't matter, like, it won't let you fall all the way. Like, there'll be a distance that you can fall and then you'll just die instantly when you hit surface. But then there's also a distance beyond that where it's just going to kill you mid-air. So, you know, if you think about like the great tree as we were climbing, even if there was a water pool below you that you could land in, if you've fallen from too high, it will just kill you in the middle of the air anyway. I think that's disabled here in the Death Realm, which is pretty cool. Once you've got your 6 keys and you're sure that you've been through all those areas in the void, and like, wouldn't this be a great place for an Easter egg? I'm sure it would. Once you've got your 6 keys, you're going to come up to one of these conveyor belts up here. And I love the conveyor belts. Look, you can see the underside is moving in one direction. Very cool. And our goal now is to get back to that original save point. And I don't specifically remember how we get to that original save point, so you have to bear with me. I think I might know, maybe? Because basically now we have to start fighting against the current. Is that over there? It's not over there, is it? It could be over there. I'm gonna check over here. If it's not over here, then we're gonna have a cut on our hands. Now, there's 2 ways you can go against the current. You can fly against it, or you can cunningly sort of go on the edge, like so, on this edge. And by doing this, you can run at full speed. Is that it over there? No, because that's just another elevator. That's if we'd taken the other elevator. So that's, or. Now I'm going to keep going just in case. Because basically the way you get up is you walk to a certain area and then a rock just descends next to you out of nowhere. No, it's definitely not over there. Right, so I guess maybe we go through the first teleport tower. Like a rock will descend just off to the side and you jump on it and it will take you high up. But yeah, our goal is to get back to that original save point. So we'll see what we can find. What else have I got to talk to you guys about? I feel like it's weird because we're coming so close to the end and there was so much I have to say about this game. And now I just feel like, I don't know, I've lost a lot of what I had to say. Shall we go on that conveyor belt? Does that seem smart? I don't ever remember dropping down onto something like that, though. Oh, guys, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Should we drop onto that? Or should we just go through the regular thing? Well, it stands to reason. If we go into that, we're going to come out onto that. And then there's that, but that lowers us, I think, next to the building. I think that one is the one that just drops us to the floor, isn't it? Well, what have I got to lose? I'm going to go onto this one. I don't remember coming onto this at all, but I'm going to go onto it and see. No, yeah, because that's the one that drops us to the floor. Damn it, I messed up. And now I'm not going to be able to get back up there, am I? Maybe I am. Azurik, can you make this jump? Yes, you can. Oh, thank God. Legendary. Okay, right, we're going to go this way instead. I'm going to go this way. I'm pretty sure this is it. So you go up the elevator, through the first teleport tower. And then... Oh, I know. And then we go onto this rock here. Do you remember when I said you're going to be tempted to go to the orbs? We could have already collected one of these, and now we're going to jump over onto this one on the right. There we go. That's it. Yeah, I feel like I had a lot more to say, and now, I don't know. I'm quite proud of myself. I have mentioned a lot of the little anecdotes and stuff that I wanted to mention about this game. Yes, and we know we haven't been here yet because of these rubies. This is the one where, yeah, here we go. This is the one where you walk over this side. So you have to start fighting against the conveyor belt. And, you know, this is kind of difficult to find. I can only imagine, you know, trying to figure out for yourself playing through here. You know, to be a player that got this far through the game, though, you must have a certain enjoyment of scouring through maps like this, but still. And there you go. There's the original save point, which is what we're going for first, because we got a very interesting bit of platforming coming up. So if you remember, we entered the realm from that eyeball. These eyeballs just look so bloody and scary. I had a friend when I was at school who like got really squeamish about eyes, and like he passed out in a class once because like they showed a video of someone doing like eye surgery where they cut the what's the name of like the clear flesh? It's not actually your iris, but it's around it. It's what makes your eye look shiny. Anyway, it was a video of like eye surgery, and before they like shoot the laser into your eye or whatever, they cut that away, and there was like, and then they like peel it back with tweezers or whatever, like this really fine thick film. And it sounds kind of nasty, but like this guy just couldn't stand it and make him pass out. And I think about stuff like this, people with their eye, like their pupils burn out of their eyes and they're like giant. Oh my god, it is pretty disturbing imagery. It really is, especially when you think of everything else we've seen in this game. But yeah, you fight against the current there. Last time we just continued along. And you can actually fly over to this giant ice wall thing here, which again is like a unique texture. The guide I'm reading describes them as ice, but they don't look like ice to me at all. They look like, I don't know, some kind of weird alloy. And again, it reminds me of this weird duck-shaped thing I had when I was at school. Like when I was really young. I found, when I was out like at a farm, buried in like the ground, like this really weird alloy that when you cut into it, it was super silver and shiny, and I thought it was like this special, like I thought it was like silver or something. And I remember I took it into my science teacher and I was like, what is this? And he was like, oh, it's probably just a random alloy. And I was so young at the time I didn't know what an alloy was, and I remember being like, what's an alloy? And he gave me a look. And I always point at that and I'm like, man, a teacher should never give a student a look when they ask something, even if it's a really obvious question. I can appear really stupid, and I'm not like the smartest of guys, but it's because I'm never scared to like just ask like crazy stuff. Like if I don't understand something, I just ask. And a lot of the time people are like, how have you got this far in your life and you've never experienced this? But the thing is, I think there are general words and things. Come on, Azurik, thank you. There are general words and things that people can experience and just never, ever, you know, like really common things that you just miss for your entire life. Just by coincidence, you know, there has to be stuff like that. Anyway, right, okay, so eventually you're going to come to what looks like a dead end. Because there is no way, that's actually the wall there, that looks really weird, doesn't it? Because there's no way you can fly over to that. Like, if you have the confidence to fly over there, that would be full-on flying in the game. We don't have that, we can't get over there. But you'll notice as this rock came up, we did pass that one sort of halfway through. Now this, I died here loads on my test file, absolutely loads, because I thought that if you missed it on the first way up, you had to like kill yourself and then come back and like make the jump as it was rising the first time. But it's like impossible to do. It might be possible, but it's really hard because you have all this momentum. And then I realized if I jump from this platform, it will start moving down again, but I always assumed it would move down all the way back to its original position. So it wasn't a matter of jumping as it was rising up, it was a matter of jumping as it was going down. But again, it is basically impossible because if you jump, then you have too much downward inertia and you're just going to die anyway. So I died like 6-7 times. It's quite a long platforming section to even get here, just trying to figure this one bit out, and eventually I realized I was jumping the gun. You jump on the spot, make it move down, and instead of going back to its original position, it will just stop where you need it to be. And I facepalmed so it will stop here instead of lower down, which is where it started. And I facepalmed so hard when I eventually realized that that was the case, because I had tried so many times to get to this damn thing, and it just wasn't working. Wow. That's twice now I've had a really dodgy crab on. But there you go. I guess it's because I'm not focusing so much. And now we can get to this giant alloy platform over here. And that one's kind of dodgy as well. I don't know. It looks kind of jade as well. But it could just be the lighting of the area. And this is sort of the key to this giant platforming area. This is sort of the last time in the game we really get to fly around a lot. So if this is sort of your favourite bit about the gameplay, which surely it can't be, because otherwise you would have been utterly miserable the entire way through the game up until this point. And eventually you come to this place, and do you know what? Wow, how did I run out of air power? Oh my god, that was the last flap of my wing that I had. That was the last flap before I ran out of air power. That's insane. Okay, I'm so happy that I made it. And we come to this huge platform. It's a giant circular thing. There's nothing hidden. There's no obsidians to go for in the Death Realm. We've already got 100 of them. Instead, we just want to come to the front here and look at this. Do you know what I mean when I say that it's kind of looks like maybe a developer just had a couple of minutes to put it together and they just had to hurry? Here's the barrier. 6 keys you need. That's 1, and we've already grabbed them, so we've been nice and efficient about this. So, and I thought this was going to be like air, and then it would be a different color. So when I was on my test file, I was like, air. And then I pressed this, and I thought it was going to be earth, but it was air again. So I was like, air, 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 air again. And then the last one's red for, no, it's not red. And then they're all yellow. As you can see, it removes the barrier. I think it looks pretty cool. They do some cool stuff with light beams. And we travel through this door. Again, another unique asset, another unique animation for a door opening. Closes behind us. We go in this scary little tunnel here. And we get a cutscene. Please don't crash, game. Oh, no, it's not even a cutscene, is it? We come into the final area of the game. The Death Realm elevator puzzle area. I don't know really how to describe this. First of all, save it straight away. And this place is very complicated and very frustrating, I think, for anyone trying to figure out normally. Well, maybe not that frustrating. Alright, are we going to need fire? Air, we are. I'm going to get myself killed by the... Do I really want to spend this long getting myself killed by these bots? Maybe they're just going to drop some air element for me. I mean, we got some script giving us earth, but I don't care about the earth. I want the air. Okay, he's not dropping it either. Well, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Okay, so... This is a big puzzle. Let's listen to the Oracle.
The Death Guardian has been without his elemental disc for hundreds of years. Normally, the Death Realm is the center of recycling and restoration for Perathia. But without the control of the elemental disc, the Death Guardian has gone insane and created a mad maze to prevent entry to the Death Realm.
See, and this is weird as well. I don't think they got their story straight, guys. Like, again, this is nice. It's like the Air Realm where it's like, oh, yeah, you had this Guardian that went insane. And it's kind of curious that I said that the Air Realm had high production values and stuff because it had the voice acting, and the Death Realm looks so clearly cobbled together, and it's got this as well. But like, what are they talking about? The Death Guardian had the disc. Oh no, he didn't. He didn't. The disc was hidden in the tutorial area, and the Death Guardian didn't have it either. Eventually Balthazar found it, the Guardian realized, and he tried to restore balance. I see. So it does make sense. So in his insanity, and we don't have to fight the Death Guardian either, because Balthazar did that for us, which is cool. And we didn't have to fight a Light Guardian, and two at that. I wonder what the Light Guardian would have been. So, we have to traverse the maze. Balthazar is hidden in the maze, and to complete the game, we need to get through this maze and kill Balthazar at its center. Here's the way it works. This is the elevator here, okay? It's quite clever, and I like how it's all really built. You know, there's no loading screens. It's all really built and designed here, and that I think is really nice. You know, it's the difference between using, like, CGI in movies and real props. I really do think that's an apt example here. So, we got 3 buttons. A green button, a blue button, and an orange button. We also have this hologram in the middle. Can you see on this hologram how this is a representation of the tower, okay? Right now, we're at the bottom of the tower. So can you see there's a square with an orange, like, node in it, okay? So we're at orange at the moment, and there's even a circle around all of that, demonstrating where we are currently located, okay? Now, higher up, there are 3 big square rooms, it looks like. Then there's some other weird rooms at the end of walkways. There's a big sort of central one, and then there's an area right at the very top of the tower. Now, we're going to find switches. So if I were to press the blue switch right now, we would go to where the purple color is here. So we would go to one of the walkway areas, right? You see? Do you guys see that? If I press the green switch right now, we'll go to that green rectangular room. If I press the orange switch, nothing will happen because we're already at orange, which is set at the bottom. Now, what we need to do is, as we travel around, we're going to find switches that move these colors from room to room to room, and that will change the destinations that the elevator has available to us. So this will make most sense if I actually demonstrate. Obviously, we put it to practice. So let's say we want to go into that green elevator, that green rectangular room there. So we'll press the green button, and the elevator is going to start moving. You see how now that one's the one that's circled? Outlined. That means you are here. Obviously we're traveling there, but that means you are here. So now we're going to the green area, and the green one on the dial is lit up, showing we are at green. If I press orange now, we'll go back down to where the orange light is. Do you see? So currently we have 3 different areas available to us. We have an area associated with the green switch, an area with the blue switch, and an area, or the purple switch, as I guess they want us to say, and the red switch. I'm going to just go to the green one first. And the question is now, well, if we've only got those 3 locations, how do we get higher up the tower? And this is how. So, this is one of these rooms. You'll notice on the hologram that there's actually 3 rooms that look like they're shaped like this. This is the first of them. You want to come to the corner of this room and take this elevator up. There are 3 floors here. And like the hologram perfectly demonstrates what the general shape of these rooms. So there's this floor here. We got some more diamonds here. Which I would still be collecting if I hadn't used that sodding gem cheat. And I'm still going to do it because maybe that will reduce the risk of it crashing. We were, what, 15 gems away from extending our fuel cell without using the cheat. So we will try and... Because now we've got 14, so in a real world we would extend our cell in just a second. But here, as you can see, there's loads of enemies. Put up a shield. Don't be an idiot like me. Put up a shield. We don't have any air elements, so I can't use my ice shield. I don't know why I favour the ice shield more than anything else. It just seems to be really strong. I used it for most Guardian fights. Anyway, if we come to the top floor up here, you're going to find a switch against a wall. And by pressing this switch, you'll see that we move the purple dot there from the right to the left. And here, on the hologram, we've just swapped where our purple destination is. Can you see? So now if we press purple on the lift, it's going to take us to a different location it otherwise would have. I'm going to let that go down because I don't want to die. There's loads of enemies here. It's really not ideal. Come on, lift. Come back up. Come back up. I don't want to stand there getting hit by enemies. There we go. So now, if we press the purple button on the lift, you can see how, instead of going to like that one walkway that was initially highlighted, we're going to go to a second one. And I've done that for good reason, because it will be a good place to end the episode. Because it's kind of a significant area, a place we've already been to. So we're going to drop down this lift again. And basically, this is the way that the puzzle works. We need to keep finding these rooms, flicking switches, and getting the elevator to take us to specific areas where we can actually access them. And it can be a real headache. It's a real thinker. Right, so what did we just move? We moved the purple switch, right? So let's press purple, because we moved the location that was originally going to take us to. If we hadn't hit that switch and we hit purple on this dial first, we'd be going somewhere else. Hopefully that makes sense. And it's taken us even higher. So as you can see, we're already pretty high. Balthazar's in that giant central room, by the way, just so that you know. So we'll have a look around. Here's the way out. Now you're going to find a couple of taculars here. My recommendation, if they aggro on you, don't let them engage you from the side. A lot of the time they won't aggro on you, but don't like fight them side on. Fight them with like your back to an area, like that, for example. So there we go. One combo to kill that guy. And here, you guys might recognise this. Look, this is where Balthazar knocked us down. This floor we currently stood on is what opened up and we fell down. This is where the death disc was and where we were approached. And Balthazar ruined it all. And that means that we got a switch here, which we're going to press for the elevator puzzle. And what that means, guys, is that if we were now to walk back along this walkway here, where is it? Not there. Over here. If we were to walk along there, that would take us to the elevator where we first entered the Death Realm. And we could go back to town. This is the point of no return. After this, you can never go back to regular old Perathia. However, we already have all the obsidians, and we have no reason to go back to regular old Perathia. So, say goodbye to that, guys. This is the point of no return. From here on out, we've got a big elevator puzzle to deal with, and then Balthazar himself, and we have completed this game. So, I will see you guys next time for the finale of Azurik, Rise of Perathia. I hope you've been enjoying the series, guys. Have a good one.